professionalinvestor.com's daily brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
Am I live? Okay, I'm back. Hello. Can you hear me? You know what I realized? Okay, sorry guys. Everything should be working now. You should be able to hear me. I don't know what was going on. My computer needed to be restarted. Hopefully there's some people still here. We've got a total of 3 people watching. Hello, 3 people. Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened. Sorry. We'll go from here. Hopefully more people join and we'll just get going. Anyway, you know, I noticed every show I wear this shirt or another shirt. It's always these sleeveless shirts. And here's why. It's because, like, it's nighttime here, and this is kind of what I wear to bed. And it's just, I take a shower, I get ready for the show, I do the show, and then I go to bed. So that's kind of why I always have these shirts on. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, why don't I, maybe I should dress more formally or look nicer for the shows. But then I realized it's my bedtime, so I'm just going to stick to my outfits. If you guys have any votes for other outfits you might like to see, maybe I can consider it in the future. As long as they are male, it's male clothing. I'm not going to be putting on any female clothing. Just keep that in mind. I might be a little nasally. I'm a little bit sick right now. Tried to clear it up. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. Anyway, hopefully you guys had a great week. I got my driver's license in Thailand. So now I can officially legally drive here. Probably don't want to come to this country now for sure. If you were considering it, stay off the roads because I will be occasionally driving. Yeah, making excuses. All right, I'm going to shrink myself. And let's get into the show, the real show. And if you would like any colorful commentary, just see the comments section. Cotter has all the jokes you need for tonight. I'm not going to be making any. He's got it covered. Thank you, Cotter. Appreciate that. All right, let me refresh Forex Factory. Let's refresh our options data. Let's look at sentiment. Sentiment survey. AI investor sentiment survey. All right. What's happening here? Okay, we've got 30% bullish, 28% neutral, 41% bearish. Still, too many investors are bearish. This is a problem. We got to keep this in mind throughout the stream. Let's look at open interest going into tomorrow. Oh my God. I don't like when I see this. This kind of formation always means that the market is going to head higher. I mean, it's good if you're a bull, but if you're a bear, this is not a good sign. So basically the minimum level for the market is 4250 and the max is possibly 4350. But when I've seen this kind of pattern in the past, oftentimes it just pushes past this and just keeps going up. We'll look at the S&P in the second and see what could happen. But just keep in mind that when you see a lot on one side skewed, markets often push in the other direction because that provides the maximum amount of profit. Let me see Forex Factory here today. We had job cuts, unemployment claims, natural gas shortage. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I will be updating the breath data at some point. I haven't updated it since basically August, and now we're into October. So I will update. We will go through the results. I'm sure it's higher. I just need to get to it. There's been some other priorities. Okay, let me pull up. Oh, I just realized I don't have TradingView pulled up. Let's load that. That's kind of important, right? How many people we got in here? 12. That's not bad. After I disappeared for 20 minutes with my slew of technical difficulties. Just letting TradingView load here. Taking some time. Normally I load it before the stream, but because I had to restart the computer, I have to load it now. Oh, already tired. Horrible. Let me clear my notifications. I got tons of notifications popping up from TradingView. It's loading very slowly. Very slowly. Why is it loading so slowly? Sorry, guys. All the technical difficulties today. I don't know why it's loading Boeing when it says S&P 500. See that? Look at that. S&P 500, but it's loading Boeing. Okay, weekly chart. Let's adjust. Let's go from we're going to work from the weekly chart all the way down. What is going on with this? You know what? I'll do a 3-day. Let's just adjust this a little bit based on the 3-day chart. All right. So an interesting thing, if we go to a weekly, is how this looks very different on a weekly chart versus on a daily chart. Look at that. So on the 3-day, right, it looks like it's kind of broken down. But if I have a weekly, the weekly looks like the parallel channel is still intact. We still have a uptrending parallel channel that has not broken down according to this weekly chart. And if I look at RSI has broken down. We're way below the VIP line. Stochastic RSI looks like crap, but the parallel channel is still intact. And we're at the 50 EMA on the weekly, which has historically acted as quite a bit of a support level. You can see many times it's been tagged. And on the upside and the downside, it acts as quite a support and resistance level, something to keep in mind. So even though a lot of indicators are pointing to the downside, we have still a bit of support with this parallel channel and the 50 EMA, which is not great because I hate being confused. And that's how it feels a little bit right now. So if we go to a daily chart, the daily is basically sitting on the edge here where it broke down. And then it's kind of, it's in a state of confusion. Notice how also we hit the 200-day moving average. It's also right there. Right, so a lot of support at this level. There's no surprise that the market is pausing and considering bouncing in this area. I mean, stochastic RSI looks like it's getting ready to turn. Regular RSI, I want to keep that stochastic RSI, not that big of a deal. We only really need RSI. And you can see that the daily is trying to consider turning around. But it's in a tough spot because the daily is still very negative. It's extremely negative. I wouldn't necessarily want to long when something is down here. 3-day is screwed. Weekly is screwed. It's very hard to call a bottom here. We have to look for some type of divergence between price and the indicators. And things like RSI on a lower time frame, like a 4-hour, you have RSI making a lower low, and then a higher low, like this, but price making a lower low. So that's a bit of your divergence, and it seems to be going through here and forming nicely, but it's a tough spot. So I don't have a clear trade. I think I always prefer to trade with a trend. But it's such a huge support level that I think trying to trade with a trend in this case could be dangerous, and you have better risk reward by considering longs down here. So for example, a simple trade would just be like this, right up to this. This is going to be your trend heuristic channel, which acts as a major resistance. And you could just take a long right here, even right here. Say your stop right down here, and your target is even the bottom end of this trend heuristic channel. That gives you a 3-to-1, and you can even go 3.5-to-1 risk reward. So that could give you what I consider that could give you a decent risk reward for what I consider to be like a dead cat bounce. These higher time frame charts are very bearish, but on these lower time frames, there's so much support at this level that I can make a really good case for, you've got 1% downside risk and you've got 3% upside risk. I would rather take the 1% downside risk and have the 3% upside than take a 3% upside risk and a potential, maybe you get 10% downside risk, but if I flipped it, right, and we went short, then you would have something like this. And sorry if my voice sounds a bit weird. It's just because I'm a little bit sick here. Very nasally. So your downside would be like kind of to here would be your next support area. But that's a risk reward 1.5. It's just not as good of a trade. And like I said, you have so much support here. I mean, this 200-day moving average is big. 6 potential divergences in the daily chart. 8-hour chart, you've got 6 potential, 2 confirmed. 6 potential on the 4-hour. A lot of potential divergence here. So I'm erring on the side of a bit of a bounce, which could look, something like that. 4, 4, 3, 5. Yeah, so if this is like your W and this is the midpoint, then chaos points to 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 6, 3. Let me see this a little bit more. We can also look at fibs. Where would be a likely retrace? Right here. Trace up to the 61.8 to the 78.6. So this 4,400 to 4,450 area would make sense for a bit of a bounce. So you decide how conservative you want to be. But this is by far the way better risk reward play. You could take part of your profits right here. You could take another part up here, and then you could take the rest right up here. And or you could take all of it up here. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward. So that's what I'm leaning towards. I do think there's going to be a dead cat bounce, but be careful because you're trading against what essentially is the new trend. But there's so many people bearish. I feel like we need to wipe those bears out before maybe we can continue to the downside. Or, who knows? It could be completely wrong and everything has a huge bounce and we go and move to new highs. Crazy things could happen. We'll see how it develops. But for now, I think there's massive support here. And I think the better trade is on the long side. I took a lot of profits on a lot of my shorts already. If we break down further and we close below this 200-day moving average, then I'm going to jump back on my shorts and we've got a long way to go. However, where we stand right now, this is the best spot that I've seen in a while where the market could bounce. Also, something I want to point out is if this is your big M top, maybe if I go to a 3-day, you can see it easier. This is kind of your M top like this, right? That's your M. There's your confirmation. If that's your M top, and we measure chaos by looking at the midpoint of that M, the right shoulder here to the midpoint bottom, we can see that we, and again, sorry, it's hard for me to talk. My nose is so clogged. We went right to this 1.618 level, which is often on a downside move. That's the first pause. There's a pause and then a bounce from that level before continuation of the move. The next is 4,028, and the next after that is 3,633. So I like that this lines up, because that tells me, okay, I'm drawing my chaos levels correctly, and a bounce from here up to here would make sense. Do something like that, and then we get our breakdown all the way down here, and then that's your next area where you bounce around and before you finally get the last breakdown, something like that. And now one other thing to look at is if we draw fibs like this, oops, wrong way, and we go all the way down. Look at what chaos lines up with. It lines up with that 88.6 level. This entire zone here is where I would like to really hunt longs. And if the market is ranging, that's often the area that it would reverse in. Same, over here, and I've shown this on previous streams. We go up like that, and we go down here. Look at where the market went to. It tagged 78.6, almost got to 88.6. That was your perfect short zone, and I've showed this on multiple streams in the past. So hopefully that makes sense and provides the confluence to why I'm considering all these things and where I see the market going. Yeah, it could always just push through, right, and keep heading to the downside. That's possible. I'm just trying to play the highest risk reward, trying to look for the highest risk reward. Trading is kind of a game of statistics. Why are you so pasty white? Well, Mr. OTC Big, pasty white is the most attractive thing in Asia. So I need to be as white as possible. Tan, they don't like that. They don't like tan here, okay? If you are tan, you are a poor person. It means you are working outside all day, every day. If you're rich, you stay inside. That's what that means. I don't know. It's just a culture thing. I don't really care personally either way. I just don't go out in the sun that much. And maybe it's the lighting. I could change the lighting and it would make me look darker. I think I'm actually kind of tan, believe it or not. I'm not that white. No, anyway, yeah, that's, it's education. There's so many things. If you come here and you're from like a Western country, you're just like, what the hell? But eventually you get used to it, and some of it matters actually. Like in the US and Western countries, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, everyone is the same because they get the same education and all that stuff. But here it's different, and the mentality, thought process really changes based on income and education levels. It's crazy. It's really, I can't even explain it. You got to experience it for yourself. It's just a totally insane, different world. It's very normal for people to tell other people that they're fat and stuff like that. Like, they'll just say it. Like, the girls themselves will even call themselves fat. If they're fat, they'll say, yeah, I'm kind of fat, just so you know. Oh, okay. Like, they'll say that. It's crazy. All right. Anyway, I should get back to talking about the market. Let's look at one or two stocks. One stock that's really oversold is Boeing, that I've been keeping an eye on. It's really, look at this. Look at how much this sold off. This was kind of your M top up here, right? And then your breakdown. So how far did we get with that? Yeah, so we tagged right down to this 4.669 level right here. See where the 1.618 was? Look at this. See where the 1.618 was? And it just bounced and oscillated around that level. It's same as the S&P that I was talking about before. And then it just dumped, and we hit the 2.618. It played a little bit in that level, not too much, and it just went straight down right to 4.669. And we're still heading lower. It hasn't stopped, but it did bounce a bit there. Yeah, good thing I don't own any Boeing stock, and I'm not involved with that anymore. My Boeing buddies. Oh, well. Anyway, I'm watching it. I've got some alerts set. Like, I'm going to add the daily alert. I have another alert on a lower time frame. But if this can break out on the other side and give me a bit of a W, I'll consider some long positions in this. But this could also fall a lot further. I mean, it could head all the way down to 125 or something like that. Who knows how far this can go? But it already took out basically the last year of trading. It's below. If anybody bought since the beginning of the year, they're now down on Boeing. So just one I wanted to put on your radar to keep an eye on. Yeah, so I have a mark on the 4-hour time frame because I think it provides me enough data to watch for a breakout like that. You see how it still isn't it still isn't on the other side. So as far as I'm concerned, we've got more downside ahead, but as soon as this breaks, I'm going to consider some longs. So yeah, there's that one. I thought I'd give you guys that trade idea. What other stocks I want to look at? I mean, Tesla I always consider, right? I used to look at Tesla a lot. It's kind of just oscillating in here. Really no clear direction. Weekly chart does look like it's breaking down a bit. Oh, it's not great here. This is a breakdown. Still above the VIP line though. Not a good one to trade. I don't like how it looks. Too difficult. Meta's just sitting up here. It did hit a 9. If anything, this looks like distribution. I mean, it's been here since July. It's done nothing. It's just everyone that shorted this is getting wrecked. Any options that are involved in this are getting wrecked. Everyone expects a reversal or something to happen. They're just getting wrecked. So the longer this just sits here, the more traders get destroyed. But it does look like, to me, it's getting ready to roll over. I don't see. I mean, for this one, it's so tight. Like you could take a trade here, right? And oops. You could take a trade here, say your stop above the highs, and then you could target. I mean, there's gaps down here. Look at this big gap. You could target this gap, or just target the 200-day moving average. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward ratio. You target the gap fill. That's a 7-to-1 risk reward. So this is a really great, short opportunity here on Meta. I like how it looks. Another one we always check out is Nvidia, the stock that won't die. It did pull back significantly, but now it's rallying again. It's still in this downtrend. Seeing if there's any. I'm not in a new short in Nvidia. I had a short. I closed it down here because it looked like it was going to rebound. And now I'm just kind of watching and waiting. Is there going to be a new short opportunity? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm waiting. There's a 7 coming in. If I can get an 8 and 9, then I'll consider jumping on a short here. But as of right now, nothing clear on Nvidia. What other ones do I want to talk about that I've been watching? I mean, we always talk about Tupperware. I always like to keep an eye on Tupperware ever since I made lots of money from it. It's just a slow drain to the downside. Nothing here. I originally bought a position up here at 150 and that got stopped out when we went below 140. I just closed it. It was not a big position. I didn't have high conviction. I think I took that too early. So it's okay. But I'm watching this. I mean, I'm gonna set another alert. That's why I wait for these. Look at how RSI has not bounced at all. But that's why I wait for it, right? If I waited for this, I would have never taken any trade at 150. I should have waited till we were on the other side, but we weren't. There you go. There's maybe we fill this gap at $1 and then it might do something. We'll see. It's possible. What else do I want to talk about? But I thought you might guys, I mean, Disney, I keep an eye on Disney stock. It's really sold off a lot. It's already at 79. Look at this on a weekly chart. So Disney went below the lowest low point of 2020. And the only time it was lower before that was 2014. So it's really wrecked. Really, really wrecked. And I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm gonna set an alert right here on this. And if I get a cross on RSI at some point, I will maybe consider some longs. Let me extend this expiration as much as possible, so I get a good, at least 2.5 months. I hate that TradingView expires, lets these alerts expire. We only get like 2.5, 3 months, because this could take a lot longer than that. But something I'm keeping my eye on. What else do I have? I think that's it as far as stocks. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I mean, obviously I watched gold, right? Gold took a huge hit. Absolutely pummeled. It had a 9 that came in. I expected some sort of bounce, but we've gotten basically nothing so far. Literally nothing. This 4 hours trying to turn the corner. Potential, you had 5 confirmed divergences here and nothing happened. You didn't get shit. It just paused. Yeah, Connor, my DIS target is also 43. But I'm still keeping an eye for that. Keeping an eye open for the turning event. So I'm watching gold, but it's just so bad on these higher time frames. Absolute disaster. I mean, you can see when this weekly broke down, that was kind of your tell that stuff was kind of over for gold. Came into this area, and then we broke down from the trend line. And then this was your perfect short opportunity where it came and retested things, and then you could short from there. Hard trade to make, though. I mean, obviously hindsight is 2020, and I think even here things were a bit unclear. But now that it's happened, I mean, you kind of got your. Let me delete some of this stuff. Delete this, and we're gonna do this. That. Yeah. So if this is like your M, you can either be very conservative, or you can be, so if you're conservative, the bottom is 1767 according to Chaos. If you're less conservative, the bottom is 1729 in that area. Good ways to go on gold still. That's not a good thing for any gold bugs. I would be careful. The trend is to the downside. Any rallies should be considered as shorting opportunities. Up to the 10 EMA or the 50 EMA, this area, plenty of shorting opportunities. Let's look at the dollar. I mean, obviously that's been on a tear. Actually, I have it right here. I don't even need to. I'm surprised that it just went straight through my midpoint. You can see how it's playing. It is playing in this area. Like that. And it's breaking down. It is. It's still in the green though. Look at this. It's so strong on these charts. But the weekly did hit a 9, right? So that's a huge resistance. You can see last time we hit a 9, it just stopped and then it reversed. 7, 9 here. I mean, every time these come in, there seems to be some sort of reversal. So we should get some type of pullback. But it looks so strong. I don't know how we can't get a continuation. I mean, you could get a situation like what happened back here, right? So back in 2021, you had a 9 hit, and then nothing happened for a couple months before you got a pullback, and then it just went on a monster rally. I don't see why that can't happen here, where you have, this was the first part of the rally, and then you get a bit of a pullback, and then this is the next part, and you go all the way up to like 113, and these old highs from 2022. Probably, yeah, 78.6, 88.6 is your target up here. I don't see why that couldn't happen. And if it continues at the current pace, We assume this takes a couple weeks. Yeah, I can see us. December or January in 2024, we can start that next move higher. We might just sit here the next 2 weeks or 2 months. I'm sorry, 2 months. All of October, November, December, 3 months. We might just sit in this holding pattern before finally pushing higher. I mean, you can see when it happened before, they sat in a holding pattern for November, December, January, and February. So those 3 months, November, December, January. While here it might be October, November, December. So just something to keep in mind. Hopefully it makes sense what I was saying. 3-day 9-2. Damn, so many Tom DeMark signals here. Basically saying, oh, break time, pause. It's pause. Wait, can't go any higher. You've gone too far, too fast. Just chill, relax. And that's basically what they're saying to the dollar. Just relax. Chris brought up that he wants to look at crude oil. We can do that. I always look at US oil. I know it's not the, I mean, maybe we look at the futures, right? Crude oil futures here. Huge pullback. Look at that. I wonder what happened. What came out that caused that? That's a massive candle. Yeah. Huh. It's really a crazy candle. I'm surprised and shocked by the magnitude of this drop yesterday into today. I'm trying to find something to make sense of this. I wonder what. There must have been some kind of fundamental event, some kind of news came out. I don't see how this could just happen. Okay, so you want to look at Activision? We can look at it. And hello, Zero Max. Big breakdown here. Yeah, big breakdown of this parallel channel. I don't like that we broke down from that as far as a continued upside for crude. Really not a good look here. Yeah. Well, a 9 came in, so you could get some kind of bounce, but major breakdown from this uptrending channel. I don't like it. I don't have a trade here. It all happened so fast. I might consider waiting for a bounce, let it bounce a bit, and then consider a short. You could also long right down here for the bounce. Yeah, if you longed here, just set your stop below the lows. And your target is, we go to a bit of a higher time frame. Just a 38.2 retracement could be your target. Risk reward is 1.5 to 1. I don't really like that risk reward ratio though. Maybe if things came down. Yeah, now it's almost 3 to 1 if you bought down here. Your target is, if your target is 86 and you buy at 83 and your stop is 81, 82 basically, it's not bad. On the monthly, that shooting star. Okay, I look at Microsoft next. This was just crude. I don't have a trade on crude, but I would try to look for a bounce buy and then sell into the bounce and then short it. That's what I would consider right now. Have to see how it develops, of course. Okay, so Carter wants to look at Microsoft, and then we'll look at Blizzard. Let's go to Microsoft. Can you look at Microsoft? Monthly chart. Yeah, I mean, I could see it on the weekly. We can go to a monthly, though. Yeah, so look at that div. Huge on a monthly. That is not a good sign. And you've got an 8 that came in. Damn. Amazing. Yeah, I looked at that. I just talked about the monthly chart. Maybe you're just seeing it now. And then if we look at a 2-week, I mean, the 2-week makes it pretty clear too, right? So big breakdowns. And we're breaking down on a 2-week chart like that. Yeah, big breakdown here, hitting the VIP level. Yeah. Look at that. Oh. Big breakdowns across the board. It looks like a juicy short. I mean, where can we head to? Obviously, you've got your little M here. You can draw your chaos off of. And it points to 213 below the lows from January. Ouch. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Ugly, ugly. Yeah, I would say it's not a bad short. I mean, if I want to be safe, I might get stopped out, but I prefer to be on the safe side. You can just short here, set your stop right above the highs, and then just run your target as low as you want. You can have go down to here. This is a major level down here. You can do the gap fill right here. Just the gap fill is the 6-to-1 risk reward. That's not bad. But if we head all the way down, 12-to-1, and then if we go all the way down to where chaos is pointing, it's down here somewhere. That's massive. 18, 19-to-1. You could probably bring it to, you could probably get to 20-to-1. All right, it looks like a really good short to me. I like it a lot. Time to mark indicator, John. Truenomic TD sequential. Yeah. There you go. It's free. Enjoy. Yeah, good call on Microsoft. Let's look at Blizzard, Activision. Blizzard. Activision, Blizzard. It looks like it jumped. This must have been when the news came out. Boom, huge jump. I don't see anything bearish about this chart. I wouldn't touch this at all. Very, very bearish. Yeah, nothing for me to say on that one. I don't know what to say. I mean, if you got into a long on it, great, congratulations. But now there's nothing I can do with this chart. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get into looking at some Bitcoin. We'll talk about that a bit, a little bit of crypto, and then I'm probably gonna call it a night, guys, because I'm kind of like sick, like I said. My throat really hurts. And I don't know if we'll do a after party today. Let's see, Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin has been all over the place. Absolute hell to trade. Yes, good job, Cotter. You called it. What can I say? You are a master of predictions. GLXY, please. Okay, sure. First, look at this on a weekly, a 3-day chart. Look at how Bitcoin has not. It looks like it's possibly putting in like a really ugly head and shoulders. Like, could this be your left shoulder? This is your head, and this is your really ugly, shitty right shoulder. And then we're targeting down here. Like, why should I be bullish on Bitcoin here? I don't feel bullish. Look at that. Look at that rejection. All it's going to take is this breakdown of this uptrending line. And then it's over. Yeah. Look at that. So you've got a 7 that came in on the daily, right? Now it's reversing. keep tagging this 2,800 level to stop any shorts out. It ran the shorts here. I mean, to me, it looks like crap. Look at the stochastic. You've got divergence, major divergence in stochastic. RSI doesn't have a divergence, but stochastic does. You've got 4 potential, 1 confirmed, 7. I don't like how this looks. The 4 hour is broken down for me. This is a major breakdown. I think this was a stop run of the shorts right here, because, you know, it's Bitcoin and you're trading on ultra hard mode, as I told you. So you're gonna go to the downside. And if I say this is the M and this is the midpoint of the M, next stop is 23,629, which lines up with this 50% thing that I have here. When I took the range of the lows from November and I looked at the highs. And that's where we ended up, 38.2. You see, could provide a lot of support, but now I'm targeting the 50% level, which is around 23,400. That's what I would target. I would look for shorts. I wouldn't consider longs here. I don't think it looks good. That's my 2 cents on Bitcoin. I know alts look really good, but maybe it's just a setup. Get everyone long and then just wreck them. Okay, that's what I mean. I see so many people talking about how good alts look. Maybe the real strategy is to just wreck everyone getting into alts. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, you had a takeoff, but now he's pulling back equally fast. So I would be very careful. Look at Ethereum. Yeah, look at this. Huge takeoff and then roll back. Absolute disaster movement. This doesn't look good at all. I don't like this kind of move. Very bearish. My target is down here, 1,400 for Ethereum. And back down to these lows. That's what I'm seeing. I don't have a good trade here. If I was gonna bet on a direction, I would say to the downside for sure. So that's Ethereum. I mean, we can look at, you know, something like Link. Link's been very popular, right? I mean, Link looks like it's topping out. Does this look like something that's getting ready to rally more? I think it's topping out. It hit its 9, it pulled back, and now it's putting in its movement to roll over. It took out, went all the way up here. It took out lots of shorts. Looks like it's just following the playbook of everything else. So I wouldn't be too gung-ho about crypto here. I'm just not. I don't think it looks good. I mean, we can look at something like Ape. Look at this. Ape is a disaster. It rallied for a few days and now it's just turning into mush. You could consider taking a long at these lows, but I think you're gonna get stopped out. I do. I don't like how this looks at all. The weekly looks like crap. Look at this reversal on the weekly. It just ran right into resistance here with my trend heuristic and reversed. This, I mean, you do have an 8 coming in, but I don't know how much faith I would give that. It's come in many times and not caused much of a pause or reversal a little bit in the previous year in 2022, but now not so fantastic. BTC crossed the production 19,755. Yeah, so why don't we go to that level? Maybe go below it. Somebody asked about Galaxy, GLXY. Forrest, you asked about Galaxy. So it probably also looks like crap. Yeah, it doesn't look great. It's just kind of shadowing Bitcoin. It looks like it's ready. It keeps getting rejected from that VIP level. And it looks like it wants to roll over. I don't see why this wouldn't roll over a bit further. It's just kind of oscillating. I mean, you can consider longs down here, major support in this 380 area, but it's not. I think there's better stocks to trade than this. This just looks like crap. I wouldn't even bother wasting my time with this. I guess it's a crypto holding company, obviously. What else? Is there anything else in crypto I want to talk about? I'm not that interested in crypto lately. I just think it's mostly garbage. I'd rather look at stocks. I think they're easier to trade, less manipulated. I'm trying to look back through the chat. where you guys see if you guys said anything you wanted to look at. I don't see anything else. Is there anything else anyone wants to look at before I call it a night? You can say whatever you want. I'll go through it. I'll do another 5 minutes or so. But my throat really hurts, and I'm out of water here. So, you know, what do you guys have anything you want to look at? Anything you're interested in that we didn't look at already? UNG, Oberbull, UNG. Okay, Brian wants to look at UNG. Oh, wow. Look at UNG taking off. I like to hear that. Look at that. Houston, we have liftoff. We have liftoff. Suddenly, my throat does not hurt as much. Wow. Asking about my ethnicity. Interesting. Welt, Mr. Fuzzy. I don't even know what that means. Define ethnicity. How exactly do I answer that? So belonging to a population group or subgroup, maybe people share a common cultural background or descent. Well, based on that definition, so there's culture, language, ancestry. So my culture, I grew up in America. So I guess I'm American. But my ancestors are from Italy. So my origin is Italy, but my culture is America. So, you know, Italian ancestry, culturally American, living in Asia and slowly becoming Asian a bit. That's about it. Hopefully that makes sense. Damn, UNG looks really good here. Holy crap. Look at this 3-day taking off through this VIP line. Yeah, this is a huge signal. Wow. Damn, but why do they have to ruin it? You see this 7 coming in? That's the thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see that. But this could be a big move. I mean, we're going to run into resistance at the 200-day at least for sure. But, let's see here. Chaos points to 9.39, which is right up here. Major resistance, of course. Let me see something. Weekly major consolidation. I mean, if this can push above this VIP level, that's a huge thing. And then essentially your range, that expansion range that you're breaking out of conservatively is around here. That's your range, and it points to $12 target. Possible, very possible move. So if you're not already in this trade, maybe consider it. Not right now. Look for a little bit of a pullback. Maybe something like we shoot up a little bit more and then we pull back and then we go. And if you can get in here at around $7, you know, you could get a big move. And historically, natural gas, you know, trends higher around this time frame because things are starting to get cold. People are starting to use it. So, you know, yeah, it can be very volatile. I would wait for a pullback. But if you're long already, congratulations. I'm still long in nice profits now. Let's see. EXPI. Let's look at that. XPI. Wow, it has a 9 that came in. This one looks a lot better than all the other ones that I've seen. It does look like it's trying to turn the corner here, but nothing yet. So I'm going to just do this with my RSI, and I'm going to set an alert on if we get on the other side of my trend line. Once per bar close, create, and I'll get an alert if we get on the other side of the trend line. But for now, it's still to the downside. But if we look at, you know, if we do this, right? Go to the downside. It's kind of like the average of the range, but I'll go to here. It's my upper half. Well, the actual buy zone is here, right? So that's where I want to buy. $13.50 to $12, and we're at $14.75. So I've got my setup. I'm gonna set my another alert at this level here. Add alert if it crosses 13.56. So I've got double alerts on this. I'm not gonna touch it till it does any of those things. Until it does, it's the move. The move is to the downside, and you shouldn't consider buying any just yet because it's not safe. So that's my opinion in EXP. If it does turn around, I will update you guys in my trading room. I haven't been posting much. Hasn't been any huge trades for me lately. I've been kind of hibernating, focusing on a couple other things with TRI more than trading. But hopefully I give you some good ideas today. I mean, I think UNG looks great. Wait for a pullback. I think this EXPI looks great. We went over a couple others. I can't even remember, but I know one or two of them looked great. I think Bitcoin looks pretty good for a short to the downside. DXY is in an interesting place here. Gold also interesting spot, but neither of them are in spots that I want to trade. So, hopefully you guys got some value today. Brian likes to say value. Wow, we've got 28 people watching. Make sure to press that like button. I don't see anyone press that like button. You guys got to press the like button. Like. And hopefully Chris can get a clip out of this somewhere. Somewhere you found a clip, Chris. Yeah, okay. I'm saying a lot, which means it's my bedtime and I've got nothing else to talk about. So I hope you guys, as always, have a great rest of the week. Careful with options expiration tomorrow. The market looks like it wants to rally a little bit into that. Screw over as many people as possible. And what do you guys need to do on the weekend? What do you need to make sure you do? I say it every week. Not bye for now. What do I say? It's much longer. Say, get off your ass, get away from the computer, do some exercise. Fapping doesn't count, but if you want to, go ahead. It's not, it's not bad. It's preferred if you find a female to help you with that. I think it's much better. Not an important topic to talk about. So anyway, yeah, get away from the computer, be active, exercise, get all that stuff done. Find a girl to help you so you're not doing it by yourself. That's the best thing, to release some stress. If you're stressed from trading in the week, you got to get that out. Anyway, I will see you guys next Thursday. And if not, I will see you guys on the site. If I don't, I'll see you next Thursday here, same place, hopefully earlier this time. Same bad channel. All right, bye everybody.